So guess who popped in to my humble abode? The gorgeous Tonto Dikeh. Oh my goodness. And also we have, shout out to Bobrisky. This is the first time we're meeting one-on-one.
Yeah.
And we're not quarreling, unlike the world believes. All right, so let's see how we work this out. Hi guys, I'm Daddy Freeze, convener of the Free the Sheeple movement and leader of the Free Nation in Christ. I'm not doing Free Nation business today. I'm actually sitting down with my, I can't say long lost sister because we're always in touch, but I can also say long lost sister because we've not sat down in 3 to 4 years. What's up, beauty?
I'm fine, thank you, Daddy Freeze. I'm fine.
How has it been?
It's been amazing, really.
I could tell you look
but
amazing.
Rough too, rough. It's not always.
Rough, why?
Well, life has its ups and downs, So sometimes you go a little bit down, sometimes you go a little bit up. But it's been great. It's been awesome.
It's been awesome.
Yeah, despite anything.
Taste buds had to sneak in.
That's my big auntie. My big auntie. Sister. I'm so sorry about your loss. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Come
I
on.
have my day.
I have cane here for you.
Welcome, darling. Thank you, auntie. Thank you, auntie.
All right. So you said it was a bit rough.
Yes.
Tell us why.
Well, like I said, everybody has their downsides and upsides in life.
You don't look like you have any downsides.
Oh
though.
no! Don't let.
When I see those things
don't
on
let-
social media, I'm like, I'm sure her world is totally different from this. But sometimes I imagine that you'd be going through
A lot, yes, I go through a lot. Recently my son has been in the hospital, so
Yes,
I
read a post about
sleeping,
that.
Yes,
What
I've been
happened to
sleeping
him?
Well, the child sickness. Around this age, they get sick a lot.
How old is he now?
He's 3 years, 3 years and some few months.
My
so.
son is going to be 3 years next month. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So that really gets
Take
me.
the child to the hospital. They run all the tests. They see there's nothing wrong. Then
wrong.
you bring the child home and he has a fever that is almost convulsing. And you take him back to the hospital and they do another set of tests and they say, but there's nothing wrong with this child. You're like, oh. So I totally get that.
That has been in the way. Also, me too has also been just different things. Things don't work out. You try and do some business one day, it doesn't work out. This one works out.
Let's talk about happy things before we start. The ones that can stress us a bit.
Yes.
So first of all, your growth. I've seen your tremendous growth on social media, online. I've seen the fact that you've been able to take care of yourself and your son. How have you done it?
By just simply loving myself a lot, trusting and believing in God a lot, and being able to channel a lot of my pain, my what I call sufferings, and every other thing that has happened into like a positive energy. So it's just been by God and just loving myself, because I never used to think I deserved so much. Now having a child, being responsible for a child, and being who I am today, I just love myself so much because I think I deserve the whole world and more of what the whole world has to come the next world, So yeah, just loving myself, appreciating myself more has just kept me glowing.
Relationship-wise, have you settled for somebody else, or you're just in a relationship with yourself?
Well, I am in a relationship, but I'm celibate, so it's not a sex thing. And we are religion apart, and also oceans apart.
Religions apart, how?
Yeah.
He's a Muslim?
Yeah, he's Muslim.
You're in Abuja?
And I'm in Abuja.
Okay, that's where our church, the Free Nation in Christ, does not have anything against people from different religions getting married. Our religion is love, and it's the greatest thing Christ taught. So I will not fault you in that. Also, being celibate, that's your choice, but you guys can get married by yourselves. Remember how God did it with Adam and Eve, just God, Adam and Eve. So once you're ready, tie the knot yourselves. That's the most important thing.
That's too fast. That's too fast.
How long have you been together?
Oh, well, we've been together a month after I left my last.
Oh, that's long.
That's a long time. Yeah, in and out. Because I think it's more interesting because we don't see all the time.
Okay, he's not in the country.
No, he doesn't stay here. But
He comes and goes. That'll be like an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, it is sometimes.
Because when you're going through what you're going through with your ex, you'd want a shoulder.
Actually, no. When I am doing all my crazy beats and fighting online, I just want him far away from me because I'm embarrassing him. So it's a way of me saying, I know that I'm embarrassing you, but I need to do these things.
Let me ask you, does he see it as an embarrassment?
He doesn't even say it. He's not a small boy. He's not a child.
Shots fired.
It's not an Instagram. He's a man.
Okay, so now let's take it to the beginning. How did you meet your ex? I know a lot of people know all this, but I want us to build it from the beginning. How did you meet your ex?
I met him in a club, Escape Nightclub, actually.
Richard.
Yes, Richard's club. I met him there. It was a very sober night for me, and if you notice, I'd always been talking about Mr. X.
Yes.
The reason for that was, the reason for me not giving a name, as a girl, is just so people don't know who the person is, one, and so, you're not sure about the relationship, so you don't call a name, and it breaks up, and it does that. So after I broke up with the popular Mr. X, which nobody knew about, that night I was very sober. I just wanted to just go out and just lose myself, and I went out, and that's where I met him.
And you just transferred the Mr. X title to him?
Yes, that was what happened.
Ish. Because I remember seeing you guys at the airport. You remember now?
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, seeing you guys at the
yeah,
airport.
I was pregnant then.
It didn't show you were on your way to your traditional
wedding. Yeah,
yes, I remember that clearly. And as usual, you were so sweet. And he seemed very calm.
Yeah, well, he's very calm and calculative. He's like, the demon. He does not need to shout. I'm just gonna sit down. I'm just gonna mess you up. I'll plan that. I'll say this in the press, so I know that you react like a mad person. I'll say that in the press. He's very. That's the only place I'm impressed. He's a good liar, and he gets his shit together somehow. But I'm here to bust it because I have evidence. Right? I can't keep quiet anymore. It's too much. It's too much.
I'm a huge advocate for couples who are not getting along to divorce, but I'm also a huge advocate for couples to actually sit down and say, let's divorce and let's not make it messy. But I know it has started on a messy note, so it's going to be hard.
No, but I actually insisted that we make it not messy because even my court papers are here.
So who started the messiness in this divorce?
It's him.
How?
Because when I left, the last time when he hit me, which was the last case of the domestic violence, which was in Lagos, 2016 December, when we were in his mother's house. His mother just got a new house for herself, so we flew from Abuja to welcome the mother and just to put stuff because she doesn't stay here. So we flew from Abuja, so we were here. So after the fight happened, I left. So the fear and everything that I was going to speak, they, from his side, came out with a story that I pushed his mother down. While I had not said anything, the only thing I did was take off his name out of my my name. Yes, so nobody knew anything from my side. Then the second thing that happened, his infidelity matter came out. So he blamed all of that on me, like, oh, so you're the one that exposed me. So let's do this like a dirty thing, because I was not even ready to talk. Like, I just really wanted to just walk out and just go, because it's not really worth it. Like, the popularity, the fame, the presence I have given, the life I have given this man, he doesn't deserve it. So me talking about him continually is giving him street credibility, is giving him some sort of edge. At least now, first person will say, I beg, come, boss man, make I interview you. Who you be before? Who interviewed you before? So I'm giving him too much. But I think that I want to do it well now. I never used to do it well. I never used to bring out my evidence because I feel like, what? He's the father of my son. Let me not just embarrass him too much. But I'm just done, and I'm done.
Talking about the father of your son, I'm looking at King's school fees receipt here.
Yes.
And his name is Dikeh King Andre.
Yes.
And the transfer was done from your account.
Yes.
Okay. Why is his name, the surname Dikeh?
Well,
Which is your
yes,
surname?
which is my name. Yeah. Around the time when we divorced, I took him to court. I know.
Okay. Have you? Are you fully separated? Have you gotten your
yes,
your full divorce?
Full divorce. Full divorce. It was only this is a traditional wedding we did. We couldn't make it to court or court to whites before everything packed up.
Oh,
so yes, we had a little ceremony which I was not supposed to be there. He wasn't there, but we had representatives.
Okay, so you didn't. You don't have any court papers for you people getting married in court.
No.
Oh wow. Okay, so it was a customary marriage.
Yeah, that's why
that's why it was dissolved.
Yes.
Dissolved much easier, because I know how hard it is to untie the knots of. So let me start by showing people. Received from Miss Tonto Dikeh. Okay.
Received from Miss Tonto Dikeh.
Okay.
Received from Miss Tonto Dikeh.
Okay.
Received from Miss Tonto Dikeh. Received from Miss Tonto Dikeh. My son is actually 3 years old, and if you standard way of children growing, if you calculate their this thing, you know that only one receipt is missing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes.
So a 3-year-old should have six
receipts.
The sixth one I didn't pay. That's why I don't have it.
Who paid?
He paid. The father paid.
Okay.
Yes, so that's why I don't have it.
Okay, so the sixth one.
Yes, we would have received from.
So 6 school fees.
I have paid 5. No, 5. Yeah, 5,
Yes,
and
he
he's paid
paid
1. Just 1.
Okay.
And that's because the court act. It was just immediately after the court procedure, so he had to, because the court was on his back. I wasn't supposed to start paying my son's school fees again after the court, because the court ordered us for him to pay the school fees. But I was out of the country one of the time when the school fees was supposed to have been paid. And normally the school would send a message to his father, email. The father would not reply, or the father would ignore, something like that. So the school didn't contact me because they were not supposed to give me that letter. So after when it got too much and they did not hear from the father, this was the message the school sent to me. It said, "Good morning, ma, and I hope you had an awesome night. Please, ma, this is to inform you that your son is the only child in school that is yet to pay school fees. We strongly advise that you should please make a transfer." Now, Mr. Daddy Freeze.
Hold on, let me take a screenshot.
Daddy Freeze, this is the kind of shame that this man put my son through. I go on Instagram, I go through my foundation, I pay school fees for 4,500 children a year. I know how many people I pay school fees for on Instagram.
You said 4,000?
4,500 record in my foundation does that. I know how many women on social media that I put on child support. I know how many people I pay rent. Only just recently, I was settling debts for people. And this man embarrassed them. How much is the school fees? How much is the school fees? You see why I've lost so much respect for this man. And he still has the guts to come out to tell the ignorant public that he does all these things, and they sit down and they believe it. Because I am the woman. Hell no. I'm not going to do all that tradition thing with you people. I'm a woman, doesn't mean I have to be quiet. Nobody's going to stampede me into keeping quiet. I'm not just a woman. I'm a very strong woman. And that's why I will always speak. I am one person who respects. I know one thing about myself. I love to respect people. But when you take it away...
I know that thing about you. You're very respectful. But I'm scared of
when
very
you
respectful people.
Yes, because once you
snap it, hey,
you lose it.
That's the end.
And this is why I continually say ill words about this man. I don't respect him publicly.
Now, let me ask you a question. What if this man were to come and offer you a public apology and say, you know what, okay, Tonto, yes, I was angry 3 years ago, but you know what, for the sake of our son, King, I'm not going to say grant any interviews again. I'm not going to say anything about you again. I will try to give you as much of the school fees I can. What if all he has in a month is 50,000 naira?
I know he doesn't have, but it frees. I married that man. So no matter
No,
what.
what do you mean you married that
I
man?
married him. I know him. I married him with my money, and I also know him as a human being more than what people
No,
don't
I don't
know.
understand. You paid for the wedding.
I paid for my wedding. I have proof here too. I paid for my
No,
wedding.
as in, what did you pay for?
Daddy Freeze, I paid for even the hotel. No, I didn't pay for the hotel, but somebody paid for the hotel for me. Another man paid for the hotel for me. But every other thing I did, I paid even to his shoes to come for my wedding. This man, on the you will see my proofs. Their conversation. This, you see, I didn't bring.
But isn't he Obasanjo's nephew?
My dear, he is not even Obasanjo's nephew. He was Obasanjo's Liberian. His father, I heard, was Obasanjo's gardener. But I am 120% sure that he was Obasanjo's
Because
Liberian.
I thought, in all honesty, I thought that because I saw a picture of him, King, and Obasanjo.
His mother looked me in the eyes and told me that she was Obasanjo's wife. That is what, go on the streets. Ask everybody who knows them. Who do you think these people are? They go on his brother. He has a younger brother on Instagram. His name is, well, I don't want to promote him, but his name is G-Wings. Go there with him and with Obasanjo, they're there. Snapping with dad. A picture with dad. Meanwhile, this is who their father is. Because of so much shame. Because of so much scam. They cannot even for one day, bring that picture, look for it. They cannot even for one day celebrate the poor man. Not even to say, okay, birthday. They've never, but every day Obasanjo's birthday is there. Just so that people can suck in the lie and relate it to Obasanjo. There's nothing like that. See the man who gave it to them. Bring it, where's the picture?
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I just take a minute or two. Look at him. That's the father. Doesn't that look like my son? He has that's my son's face. That's the father. I got this picture from his stepsister. I didn't even know he had sisters. It was after the marriage that everybody started coming in contact with me. Oh, I'm his stepsister. Oh, you know this.
No, but
you know
the
that.
father is here. It says the founder of a.
That was after.
church.
Yes, I've said it before on Instagram.
Okay,
I said
so
he was a what do they call it? Gardener
first.
who became a spiritualist in Cherubim and Seraphim afterwards also. Some white girl in church. I always said it.
Oh, okay.
I always said it.
Okay.
But I didn't know. Even when I got
Can I
married to him,
ask
I
if
didn't
he
know.
has other proof against this? He should
Of
submit.
course, yes. If this is not your father, tell us.
Okay. So I'm trying to be as open as possible.
Yes.
As if you notice, I want to be an elder brother here. I want to try to see how we can bring peace. I know Tonto is angry, so there's a way we bring peace to her. She'll be angry with me and break this Pepsi bottle on my head. So I have to be extremely cautious. So like I say, yes, if you have contrary proof to this, please feel free to submit this. Wow. Tonto, this is scary.
It's very scary. The thing is, half of the
And
time...
you came with receipts.
I came with receipts. I'm tired. Daddy Free, these are the things that most of our actresses are going through. But nobody is saying.
I don't understand.
We get so lonely. We get so out of relationship. When in need of someone to hold us, we get into the wrong hands. Half of us have married Yahoo. Most of them are just walking away because it's too shameful for them to talk. But I'm shameless. I will talk because I don't want any. I don't have shame in my life.
I
don't, because tomorrow if this man, if they catch this man doing Yahoo, they will come to me because I was once married to him.
Okay.
And that's the reason why I am extremely happy.
Now I want you to please talk from your objective side. Now I know you are angry. What is this man's day job?
He has no day job from Yahoo. He has an office that says that he does IT. And that's how
do you say he has? Were any of your underwear missing?
Well, who knows? Where my underwear comes, I would never have told. I would never tell. I have so many of them. And that's true. I didn't even. My pants is.
You're not okay.
No, I don't know about that.
Anyway, wow. Okay. But there was a time he bought you a car, or he bought his son a car.
Daddy Freeze for internet. He bought that car for you see this Yahoo money, yeah? Sometimes when these boys can't bring in the money, they trade it for something, car or something. Some of them will do products, some of them will do Africa. Most of them are in the market, Africa. Most of them. The government is not sharp. They are very slow, or they are actually in on this.
Now, hello.
Let me try and get the car issue. So that's how he gets most of his things, right? Now, when he posted that car, he left his house. My son does not have that car. Even him that posted the car does not even have the car because he sold it. Because that was what it was for. Bring in and sell. He's a liar. He never gave my son a car. The car that my son has now was the car that I left in Port Harcourt. I had like 4 cars in Port Harcourt. I had to bring one. I didn't want to collect anything. I just had to bring one from Port Harcourt so we could just start a normal life. And I sold one of the cars, which I always.
Because I remember when I first met you those days, you used to drive a white Hummer with number plate Poco, and the gist was from, what's that girl's name? Julie, who introduced me to you. Remember Julie?
Who's Julie now?
She used to have a magazine called Wow.
She still has a magazine called Wow. Yeah, Julie.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the story was that Tonto is a car dealer, blah blah.
Yes,
blah,
I used to sell cars.
So you used to sell cars
back in the days.
So that kind of adds up.
Yeah. So I'd driven cars. It was nothing spectacular. So for him to come out, is a car that I sold 3 years ago. I said it on Azuka, the interview that I did with Azuka, that I sold the car. I was bold enough to say that I didn't lie. It's now 3 years ago that he's coming out to do petition.
But let me ask, was the car in his name or your name?
It was not in any of us name.
Whose name was it?
I don't know the person. The only reason I had to see a receipt of it was because a friend of mine got caught on the road safety, and they had to call me to come and identify the car. Because when she said my name, it was not corresponding with what was there. They spoke to me and they wanted me to show. I just had a baby there. I just came back to Nigeria. Yeah, like a month after. So I was like 3 months a mother. So I had to leave my house. I went there to the people. I told my boy to bring the receipt, open the safe and bring the receipt. They brought it. I looked at it. It wasn't my name, but I wasn't bothered. It was 16 million naira. This is 15 or 16 million naira. The car. Then they put the name. I wasn't bothered because the car was sitting at my house.
Yeah.
There was nothing for me to bother. Whether it was in the name was.
And it's not like you forged any document.
I did not. The only time I changed the document was when I was selling it and I was leaving, because you would not sleep with me for almost a year and make me have your child, and I'm leaving you, and you tell me I'm not going to take a property.
No. I don't understand this. You said he will not sleep with you.
What I'm saying is,
yes,
I would not be a wife who has given birth. And leave your house and say I'm going to live without a pin. No, the only thing I took from the house was a car, because that was the only thing available. We lived in a rented apartment. That free. This is your house. It's just like coming to put us in here with all your furniture. That's what we lived. A rented apartment till my chairs, my pillows were rented. Look at proof. Look at the guy who rented my house for me. If you look at this is the WhatsApp conversation of me and the agent.
Okay, and this is your house you lived
when I was with him. But he came out and said that he bought the house for us. That he even told Obasanjo's children, because one of them asked me. I said, we did not buy this house. This house was not bought. We paid 8 million for 2 years to live in that house because we didn't have a property. It was when I was coming back from America, I bought property. So when I came in, everything was already there. So I put it in the warehouse. That's how I used it furnishing my new home. Only thing I collected from my luggage from America was 3 pillows to make my son comfortable, because the pillows were soft.
Yeah.
The house came completely packaged. Look at it. Look at the.
No, I can see it.
Look at look at what the landlord sent through the agent. Good morning, Richard. I am currently out of the country and I understand my tenant is back. I'm the tenant. We are the tenant. We were the tenants.
Can you be a tenant in the house you own?
I don't know. Even the one in Ghana, the house in Ghana too. This is the embarrassment they came to give us. Me on Instagram. He lied to me that this house was his own. He bought it. Now I see the long message of insults that a company who sell house, an elite company, wrote to me.
Wow.
Look at it.
Would you want this published?
Please publish it. Even on here, I gave them the mother's number. I told him, I said, this woman will lie that she does not know this man, but call her.
Wow.
And look at it here. She lied. He said, if you look at it, he said the person does not know the person. I said, trust me, that is not a wrong number. Yes, it's supposed to be an elderly woman who picks up. And yes, she would lie. She doesn't know him neither. But if that fails, kindly contact. I gave them another listen. So that they can stop coming to my page to tell me to pay for a house I don't even know about. Because that house was supposed to be for him.
Wow.
According to him, he owned it.
Let's look at this, guys.
don't want to keep talking and showing proof. I also would like to drop numbers. You see, like my son's school, his school is owned by a senator, and I can do you that honor, and I can call her and say, please, mommy, let me give Daddy Freeze this number because you have to invest. I don't want you to believe.
You see, there are things I'm seeing here that are receipts that are pretty much straightforward. We don't really need to go anywhere with that. Now, my dear sister Tonto, I want to ask, how was your relationship with him? Were you guys friends? At least there was a time, maybe 1 month or 2 months, where you guys hung out, had fun, made love.
It wasn't all bad. I mean,
it wasn't.
Yes,
okay.
you know, there's every that 1 month when everything is okay. So it was.
What are the good things? Are there any good things at all that you can say about him?
Looking back now, no, because all of the good things were the lies, with the promise of a better life. With the promise of, oh, this is my family. Was the promise of, I have this as a person. Because, Daddy Freeze, seriously, I would not marry a man who doesn't have a property because I have properties. And I'm a woman. I'm a Port Harcourt girl. We live with buying houses and having properties. That's how we were brought up. I have 1,001 lands if I wanted in my place. So I would never stoop for a man who had nothing. But not that I'm saying that I would not go for a man who does not have money.
What if he came up to you and said, don't you think, this is me playing devil's advocate here, don't you think that maybe you are the one that put him under this pressure? Because, you know, when a guy doesn't have something and he wants to marry a girl that he knows will not agree with him if he doesn't have, he now starts conjuring things.
I didn't make him like that. I didn't make a grown-up man like that. It is lifestyle, it's the Yahoo. They are used to the permanent lying.
And are you 100% sure about this Yahoo?
I'm 101. You see, I want to say it so much I will push him to take me to court because then the federal government are going to investigate him properly. So I will push you properly. This one, you must take me to court because I know that he will be investigated. Yes, he is a 419, he is a fraud. And when my son grows up, he's going to know the same thing of his father. I'm not going to hide it. I'm not.
Okay. Can I ask you one more thing? What was the sex life like?
It was horrible. Okay, beginning of the relationship, he was always needy. He wanted sex, and I was not a sexual person. After I got pregnant, hormones changed. I wanted sex, but then he was already so fully blown involved in his other relationships that when he came back home, sometimes there was no sex.
Other relationships?
Of course he did that. He was dating the actress. He was dating someone in his office.
Which actress?
Forget about that. I don't want to.
Yeah. I remember reading a story about but I'll let that slide.
So not just so many other things. I mean, there's a day I walked in. I was pregnant. That was after our wedding. I was pregnant. I walked in on him dry humping some girl. She looked so dirty. She looked extremely dirty.
Where was he dry humping?
Just outside, like a hotel. Well, we were lodged in the hotel. So him and his friends were downstairs drinking. So I came out. They were by the side of a car. So I saw them. And like, oh no, it's my friend's sister. I'm trying to. So, you know, the beginning of the relationship, I never suspected him for cheating because he has a sexual problem, a disease. It's called premature ejaculation. He can't stay inside.
Tonto, stop!
Yeah.
You are killing this guy. Yes. You are killing his reputation. No.
He can't stay inside. He can't stay inside a woman for more than 40 seconds. My son was the longest sex, 1 minute. Yes. So that alone, I felt like he was going to be ashamed of that condition to not be sleeping around. So I didn't focus on his humanizing part. It was later. In fact, it was even after marriage I started to see the signs. And I remember carefully one day, this guy, after my wedding, no, I think it was before my wedding. I was having my wedding trial makeup. And afterwards, a friend of mine from Port Harcourt came. This man drove out my car. He was living with me in Lagos. So he drove my car out to go and see his friends. And when I went there, I can remember seeing exactly this actress girl. I didn't know her. I can remember. God, I remember I saw her there in that gathering. But it didn't occur to me. I didn't know her. I didn't used to watch the new Millennium movie, so I never got to see, So I think it has always been there. But something that I just never saw. But for you to bring it into my industry, I thought that was disrespectful. But that's not even the disrespect. That's not even what is troubling. That's not even what I'm even about. At all.
Anyway, I ask innocent questions. They spoil all sorts of answers.
Yes.
So let me keep my... Now, even though I don't want to ask this question, but because you have mentioned it on your social media,
Yes.
is that true?
Well, I also came out and defended him that he wasn't.
Okay.
You know? That's because the person he was accused...
Sorry, first of all, is this something you want to talk about?
It's something I would touch.
Touch on.
I would touch on.
Okay.
Because I'm not... I said it. I'm not going to say I didn't say it. I said it.
Yeah.
So, when the news came out, it came out with him and someone. And I remember being shocked. But I remember saying, oh, no, this is not true.
They brought some issue.
Nice.
Okay, in the middle of the interview, Taste Buds serves us
Yes.
some issue. Oh my goodness.
You can't die when we're talking about nonsense.
But please let it not stain all these plenty court papers here.
No, I wouldn't.
Yes, so you were saying.
I actually did not believe it until the person who they accused him to be sleeping with confronted me. Not confronted, asked me to help him go and clear it out. The person was my friend, so I went. But after I did that, it occurred to me, let me ask.
You don't want to mention who the person is.
I don't want to create, but definitely it's going to come out because I'm going to make money off this thing. I'm going to use people and make money. People don't understand. It's like one day, one top, one trouble. Every topic will be on my YouTube channel. So it's a topic.
Okay, so you just launched your YouTube channel.
Yes, I just launched.
What is it called on YouTube?
It's called Tonto Dikeh.
Tonto
Dikeh. Yes.
You had something like that with Linda Ikeji. How did that go?
It went very well. It actually was one of if not the most watched reality TV show that she has. But it ended. It just did only one season.
Are you doing another season?
Yes, we would.
Oh, fantastic. I remember being
part of it. Oh, yeah.
Linda is my sister. If she calls me to anything.
Yeah, you did something that shook me
jiggy. I remember. You know what I did? I said he's outside the door. And I'm going to go and open the door for him. Tonto first braved up.
After shutting my mouth. And if we just drop the fact, your ex-husband is outside, I say, we'll another beating.
Hey, Tonto. This Tonto, you're not well. That's the taste buds of life. Leave it, don't worry. Pepsi will still come and play one day. Okay, so we're back. We had to move the issue to the microwave. We'll come and eat later. Our guests are eating though, so we can now continue with the plenty work. So you were telling me about your friend. Let's talk about friends. How did your friends take him when you introduced him to them?
He cut me away from all my friends. I mean, that was when I and Richard was like my best friend. That's when I and Richard did not speak the duration of my wedding because he brought up accusations that I was sleeping with Richard. He just brought up accusations of every, not like I was, that, I heard, some people will suspect, so you don't have to have such kind of friend. Because infidelity towards, from my end, was never an issue. This one have destroyed my whole life.
Okay, so he doesn't have, you never cheated on him?
Oh, never. I'm not that kind of girl. And I know the story is different out there.
So if we bring Shopono now, I say you should try.
Yes, I will.
But if we carry that same Shopono to him,
he will probably swear and die in front of you.
Now let's talk about child support.
Yeah.
He's been taking care of his son.
Absolutely not.
Wow. As in nothing.
As a matter of fact, throughout this year, he's paid child support only once. And the reason he paid it is because there's this blogger, her name is Cutie Juice. She has friends who have been scammed by him and friends who know his dirty dealings. And also friends who witnessed him beating me up in Ghana, one of the incidents. So she's been on his case. So she embarrassed him thoroughly about not paying child support after his quack lawyers, charge and bill lawyers, wrote out a petition that he pays. Meanwhile, there were the different lawyers who went to court with me. So they had no right.
Did you ever appear in court?
I appeared in court, yes, sexily after my 8 months. I was so sexy.
Hey. So how did the judge?
Well, they asked him to pay 200,000 naira. I asked for more, but he said he could only afford 20,000 naira every month, and that's why they asked him to. And he doesn't pay. Now I have proof that he doesn't pay. You see, when he granted his first interview, he accused me of being a liar that he takes care of his son. Actually, one of the things that he said specifically, he told Azuka in Azuka's interview, he said that there was a Zenith Bank account that he has for his son. And I was the only signature to that account, and that account holds more millions than I could even, I think he said more than 10 million in that account, as well as in the account. Now, I only got to take that account after he made that publication. That was 2018, that's when I received the account. And the account came with only 319,000 naira.
Are you sure this is not 319 million?
Please, I will be there. I'll be so rich. This is the first time I ever got this, because this is the first alert. This is the first thing Zenith Bank sent me. Second thing Zenith Bank sent me, and the alert was the third. That is a 319,000 naira.
Wow. So where are the millions?
I don't know. That's why I want to ask the world to help me beg him to show us the millions, because I can't go down as a liar.
Wow.
So this was 2018. That's when I got the account, first May. So May he paid 200,000 naira, which made it 519,000 naira. That's the first child support. The second child support, this was for when we were fresh out of court. We just came out of court in March. So this was the first after court he paid. This is the second after court, April, the second month. Now, the third month, Oga no pay January. Oga no pay July, because the accounts is still the same. Oga no pay September. Oga no pay October. Oga no pay November. Sir Churchill, richest man in Nigeria, did not pay November. Millionaire, billionaire, my mother has properties everywhere, did not pay December. This is January 2019. No payment came in. At some point, I was not touching the money until my lawyer said, you need to start removing, because he too can see the account. January, he didn't pay 2019. February, no payment. Until March, because of this publication, because of this thing that the blogger embarrassed him. Look at this, March. 3rd March. This is 8th March. 8th March, that's when he paid 2019. So he has paid for his son only 200,000 now for the whole of 2019. And 2028, he paid only 2018. He paid only 3 times. And those are the money I've received for him giving me for taking care of his son, ever. Plus, I know the initial time when I left his house, I think he sent maybe 300 and 400,000 naira, and that's it. This is it. These are all my proof. Then we are in April. Oga has not paid. This is April 27th.
7th, yeah.
No payment has come in. Yeah. So we are entering next month now. So Churchill, how is it that you are the one paying all these bills that you say that you are paying, while my receipts here are saying otherwise? Mind you, I'm bringing proof from a bank. If this is a lie, send me to court, because the bank too will actually sue me for giving out a wrong information about them. This is Zenith Bank. Mr. Daddy Freeze, I will leave you the account. I will leave you the accountants so they can send you copies without my own, so you can see if it tallies. I'm not here to bullshit. Everything has proof. Everybody involved has a number and has a name.
Okay. Wow.
So this is a man who goes on the line and says he's paying for other people to go to school through his fake foundation. This is the man.
Isn't he paying for other people?
Well, if he's paying, why is he not paying for his own child? You know what? King is not his only child. He lied. He also came in front of the camera and told the naive world that he didn't have a child. He has a daughter called Bimbo.
Where is Bimbo?
Bimbo is with her mother.
Were they married or?
They were never married. It was a young thing.
Okay.
I know that
How old is this Bimbo?
I think she's 8, 9, or 10.
Oh, okay.
I know the first time I asked him about if he has a wife or if he's married or if he has children, he denied the girl. Just the same way he denied her in front of the world. When I caught him, he said, "Oh, she had a Down syndrome, something like an imbecile." He also told Azuka the same thing, that my son was imbecile, my son was shaking, that I was on drugs and my son used to shake. And I asked Azuka, you're a mother. Don't be stupid. Don't be a fool, Azuka. You're a mother. A father says his son is shaking out of drugs, and the father did not take my child to the hospital.
Now let's talk about those
No
drugs.
proof.
Those drugs.
So you didn't love your son enough to take him to the hospital?
Let's talk about the drugs. I heard from his camp, from the many articles we read online, that you had a substance abuse problem.
Yeah.
Do you have any proof to?
Yes. I mean, it was a public thing that I stopped smoking. I stopped smoking cigarettes before when I taught.
I remember you and
Joshua.
Yes, you said that. You said you watched him on TV.
Yes, and then I got totally healed, and that was the truth.
Do you still, after that, have you smoked a puff here, smoke a puff
Yes,
there?
I have. I've always wanted to have. I have, but it tastes more like poison now. It doesn't taste like what I want to enjoy.
Yeah.
So before then, I'd already cleared my system. Before I even met him, I'd already stopped smoking. I'd not been indulging in all those things. Now, you see, as a pregnant woman, before you leave the country to go and give birth, I was 7 months pregnant when I left. I was very heavy. Your doctor has to clear you, and in the clearance, toxicology report has to come in. Now, anybody who knows George Memorial Hospital will know that George Memorial Hospital is the largest, biggest, and one of the most recognized hospital if you are going to maternity hospital outside the country. They respect that hospital so much. In fact, my treatment was first class when I told them I was from this hospital. This
George Memorial Center,
yeah.
to whom it may concern,
doctor, this was my
Tonto
doctor.
Dikeh, has been under our care in this pregnancy. She's 23 plus weeks pregnant with single fetus and wishes to travel by air. Her expected delivery date is 3rd of January 2016. We certify she's fit and well enough to make the trip.
That's 2015.
2015.
Yeah, and a toxicology report must follow this before they clear it. Now, this is 2017. This is a toxicology report from the biggest. Actually, this hospital, Cedar Crest, was where Mohammed Buhari's son was put when he had that bicycle.
That bike accident.
Yeah, it's very close to us. So this is the hospital. They cleared me off 2017. Cleared me off of everything allegation. I left in 2016 December. That's when he accused me. Now, that the freeze, drug stays in your body for 3 months. No drug, the smallest drug, which is cannabis. If you smoke it, to show in your body for 3 months, and there's no detox that can take it out. Any doctor, standard, they know. That is why you don't smoke weed and do a drug test. So this is a clearance that there was no single drugs, and I even posted it. It was on Instagram post.
Okay, I can see your money, you're really liking it.
This is another one.
I
had to. Look at
so
it. Cannabis. I have a diary where I do this maybe every 3 months, and I keep it for my son because I know his father is a liar.
Okay.
Yeah, so I do it every 3 months.
Okay,
now, this is the hospital in West Houston in America. This is where I gave birth to my son. These are all proof toxicology reports. These are, just go through it. They are all the reports that you need to know that this girl is fit, there is no drug in her body. Look at it. All of them. Look at my lab results. Look at all the lab results. I have plenty. Almost like 17 lab results.
Have you ever worked for the FBI?
I haven't, but I'm a wounded mother. I'm a wounded lion, so I brought out all this information.
Tonto, remind me never to have any problem with you.
Please, at the please.
You will dig up our chat.
I will dig out everything. Look at all of them. All these are results that show you that there's nothing in my system. I was free to give birth. I was free to. This is America. You can't bribe doctor. All these local people online who just hear something that's wrong with it. You can't bribe an Oyibo doctor to do what? They will take your child. My child is not Nigerian, because they will take him. Even if it's cannabis in my system, they will take that boy until I rehabilitate myself. What the hell are you talking about? Kunle.
Now, I remember him having an interview with Azuka, my very good friend. And I know Azuka is a nice lady. How did that go? Are you friends with Azuka for starters?
No, she's not my friend. I would never be my friend. Azuka took bribe from Churchill. Yeah.
Can you confirm
I can confirm it. I have 3 people, 5, 6 people. Mercedes-Benz. Mercedes-Benz. Mercedes. You know Mercedes now? Very popular. She's a big deal in the industry. She was there. She's her best friend. UT. She owns a designer house. He was there. My brother, Chris, he's a musician. He was there.
Chris,
yes.
I was with the band.
Yes, I was with the band. Dami, my internet manager, he was there. And I have conversations also that proves that.
But you had an interview with
yes,
Azuka.
The interview was just to lure me.
Oh.
Yeah, before that, I think they had started working together. So because I'd never said anything. And after the interview, I'd never said a word about anything. When I went for that interview, Azuka said, this man offered me 3 million. Then when I left his house, that's being with him, my whole staying with him, his Yahoo money came twice. That's why I can say that he didn't marry me with my money. I married him with his money. So in the course of the marriage, Yahoo money landed. That's why he bought the car. So it landed twice. So when I was leaving him, another one landed. That's why I was exiting. So he had some money to spare around. So he offered her 3 million naira to come and spin the story. She said it there. It was even captured in her camera. But the materials are her legally, so she would not release it. Even in the conversation here.
But you know why I'm afraid of this? Because if you allege something, you must prove.
I have proof. It's here. Everything is here. I was telling her, I said, is this not this man that told you that he was going to pay you 3 million naira? Look at it. I said, I may have a week past. Okay, I said, good morning, Azuka. I don't know why I'm writing you. Because this was when I found out that she was there to betray me. I said, good morning, Azuka. I don't know why I am writing you. I really shouldn't. I have been told so many lies coming from Kule through you. Azuka, sit down and analyze your story properly. I am not here to convince you now. I said, I may have a weak past that can be used against me. But should my past affect my present? You told me how this man, Olakunle Churchill, wanted to give you 3 million naira just to be interviewed. Would any innocent man do that? This message went. It was a message, see, green. It was a message that went. She cannot lie. And you see, I want them to sue me. You see, all these allegations, I want them to sue me because when you sue me, you must bring out your account in court now. Account must show. Because another way for you to defend yourself is to bring out your whole account, your account. So if there was no money inside your account from him, then the court can do whatever rubbish they want to do to me. But if there is, then I know. So I want them to sue me. All this thing I'm saying, Azuka, you are a rotten journalist. You collected bribe from my son's father. Because even Mercedes-Benz, her best friend, flew with me to Ghana with a very reputable lawyer. I don't want to call his name because he's not, I don't want him to get stained in all this mess. It's a very big deal in Nigeria. But 3 of us traveled to Ghana to go and investigate the beating. And also the Nigerian embassy. They confirmed that it was true. The only thing that the embassy carelessly does not have proof because they didn't have documents. But the woman who took the pictures when I came in with blood said, yes, I saw you. So you still married that man in front of them. Ask Mercedes-Benz.
Wow, this is a bit wow. Azuka, like I said, Azuka is my friend, and I've never had any.
This man told Azuka, I told Azuka, read all these things. I told Azuka, I said, Azuka, let me fly you into Abuja and do another test results. Because she told me, it upset me. This girl opened her stinking mouth to tell me that my son was an investor, that my son was shaking, that my son had a imbe, you know that thing, that my son, that my ex-husband told her that my son had problem, that he's drugs, he shakes.
But you have receipts here that show that.
I have receipts, and I also have receipts
from foreign and local.
I also, this is Azuka now.
How is your? Let's talk about your son. How is his development?
He's very good. It's very.
Do you have any videos of him blabbing, chatting?
Yes, on Instagram.
You're gonna send some to me so that I can put it up so the world can see that.
Yeah.
Because there's a certain way children whose parents abuse mind-altering substances behave, but with all these receipts, I don't even think we need to see.
My son is very popular on Instagram. Everybody knows. So if he's a child reacting to drugs, you would definitely see it.
And with the amount of receipts here, I also.
Now, also look at. I was talking to Azuka. I said, Azuka, this is your client, which is my ex-husband. I said, if you guys are not lying, I need you guys to release the CCTV footage. Because the house where I was beaten in, where they said that I was not beaten in, remember they showed you guys a pool of blood on the floor. Meanwhile, he was not hurt. I was the one who had the blood. But his mother was shouting in Yoruba, "Oh, my son, you're killing my son," or some crazy kind of English like that. I don't really understand. I told her, I say, release the CCTV camera. Any man that they say beat a woman would do anything in his power to release it rather than be talking, I didn't do it. That That house was heavily gathered with CCTV camera, and the CCTV camera was fixed just barely 1 week, so it was functional. I said, Azuka, beg him to release it. People should release it. They couldn't. Rather, Azuka released a rubbish video, which she even shot herself. I'm so ashamed of her. She's such a disgusting fellow. She released this video of me trying to hit my ex-husband. Now, please, I want you to help me look for this video online. If you see this video, if you see my face was gone, you will know that I have, even look at the picture, you will know that this face has been plunged into. Azuka was the one that released it. As a proof that I was the one being violent. Meanwhile, I was the one who had to face like the hawk. That was my face was around. I was look at it. It's there.
Let me ask you a question though. Please don't get angry with me, my darling sister. What if Azuka was just doing her job? Do you think that it could be that she was doing her job?
She's not doing any job. She has no job to do. Because if she had a job to do, Azuka would investigate. She's a trashy, low life. Yes, I'm so pissed off. She's stupid.
Okay. Let's move away from Azuka now to your wedding.
Yes.
Tonto, you are a handful. Okay, now let's talk about your wedding.
Yeah.
You said earlier on that you funded the wedding.
Yes, everything. Apart from few... I'll explain.
Okay, so go ahead, explain.
Okay, so the time when I was getting married to this guy, I didn't understand why he had to get married. You know, I did not understand why he had to get married because he didn't have money with him. Literally, I was feeding him. Literally, I was housing him. Literally, I was making clothes for him. I had a friend, her name is Folake. She lived with me when he was living with me. I would take his shirt, give to her. She would take to Yemi Kwaja. This man did not even know Yemi Kwaja until I started to buy dress for Yemi Kwaja for him. Ask him how much the dress was. Let him tell you. If he bought it. My friend, not me. I wasn't going myself. My friend, I would send my friend. Folake, God bless her. She's the same girl who made me keep my pregnancy as a king. She advised me and told me how much this would pay someday. If not, the freeze, you've heard my interview I've done an interview with you. I said I didn't want children. Yeah. But I would love to have a partner who have to share. And it was always like that with me. But my son is here and I love him. I can't change that.
I know. It's so beautiful. So you were taking care of him, everything.
Yeah, so I didn't understand why he had to, why we needed to do that marriage. I didn't understand it. But he was staying in Ghana, and when he went back to Ghana, he told me to continue, I should continue spending my money that he was going to. These are proofs. This is a WhatsApp message from conversation. Sorry.
Oops. You are tearing your receipts.
No. I have.
You have many.
This one I just photocopied for you. Okay. These messages are messages of me asking him to pay me back my money. That if you see carefully, there was one I said that this was the only money given to me by the family, 1.7, and in 1.7 his uncle gave me that 1 million. His uncle is a pastor. He's a clever man, so he gave me $1 million, and my son's father gave me 2 instrumentals, 400 and 300, which is making this. Yes, so you can see it properly there. I think I have some other documents too.
Okay.
Of him telling me that so if he pays me everything.
No contribution came from your community.
Yes.
Now, me to pay all the drinks and welcome my family from your community. I don't have that much.
Yes.
We'll credit your account with 3 million.
But he did not give me 3 million. Afterwards, he gave me 10 million to cover up because my whole wedding cost 7 point something.
So he gave you 10 million.
10 million after this fight.
He paid you back for the.
This was 2016 when I was leaving his house. That's why he paid me so that I would not go out and say I paid my wedding.
Oh.
This is 2016. I left in 2016 December. This is 2016. The money came in on the 6th of December 2016. Yeah. Even on the court paper is there. Yeah.
Wow.
So this is me asking for my money back. I only just asked. I said, please, don't get me. It's supposed to be me. Don't get me mad. I beg you with the love of God. If I'm asking for my money, that's the money I married him with.
Yes.
Give me back. I am begging you because I know what this can turn into because I was ready to go out and shout that this man was owing me.
Okay.
He said, nonsense. I will cripple you one day if your madness jump. Is this now? This is what when I was asking for my money.
They take madness.
Threatening me. How did I take him? I said, don't get me mad. And Kole, you can, if you like this one, I will so the money you don't have, I would use and collect your whole family money if you lie that all these numbers are not your number. I will sue you. I will sue your whole generation to court. Because these are all conversations that came out from us. They are all there. All of them are there.
So after I wanted to sit down with Tonto Dikeh, but even I was not expecting this mudslide, landslide, avalanche.
I have a lot of proofs, but in that my lawyer's case, I cannot, like his bank account. The day he paid our wedding period, he had to literally snap, because I said I was not going to get married again. He had to literally just take a screenshot and say, I don't have this money. Let's not embarrass ourselves. If not for that, my lawyer said it is not legal. But in the court of law, the next court we are going to go to, I will present it, because if it comes out in my court paper and I want to bring it out to the world, it's my business. The court cannot hold me responsible, and that's one thing I made a mistake. I would have taken that picture to court the first time, so now I can show it.
Taste buds photobombing in our video. Yes. Taste buds. We can't see you. Anyway, you seem to like the courtroom.
Yes.
Who's your lawyer?
Oh, my lawyer is San Festus Kiamo. But then I have other lawyers under him. Well, Uncle Kiamo is responsible for everything legal.
Yeah. Big shout out to him.
Thank you very much. He's done an awesome job.
I could definitely see that.
I got custody of my son. Whoop whoop.
That's some good legal legwork.
Yes, 2 weeks, 3-4 days ago, he granted another interview. You know, you see, the reason why I'm doing this is not because I want to always be in the news. I'm a big shot. I will always be in the news. I'm a big deal. That's not it. But the thing is, this man is constantly granting interviews every second. In 3 weeks, 4 interviews have come out. In fact, 3. Where's my phone? I will show you one. An interview that just came out.
Can I? You know, I preach the word of God. Can I suggest something?
Yes, please.
Not to you, to him, and then to you. Mr. Churchill, is there a way you can... You're no longer together. I would suggest you get into your son's life. He's still very young. It's a good time to plug in now. Whatever you have, I'll beg my sister, if it is 50K you have every month.
As a matter of fact, I went to court and I said that I want co-parenting, so when he doesn't have, I can bring. But rather, he would rather come to light the world, so...
I'll suggest that whatever you have, even if it is 30K, come on, Tonto, we are not married again, but we don't have to be enemies, we don't have to fight. And please, the two of you, after this set of interviews, can you stop granting I know you will grant if he grants, so let me beg him. Mr. Churchill, can you please not grant another interview so that peace can reign? I'm not saying you guys should fix your marriage or anything like that. I would never say that. But because of this little kid, I know it's hard because, you know, I'm also in a divorce situation. So many people will say that if you don't say anything, and one day I'll just wake up and just start boiling. And I understand. It's a normal human feeling. But is there a way you can find peace within yourself? Because like what I'm seeing is this woman hasn't released all these things up until now for a reason.
For a reason.
So if I could, I'm in no position to judge you because I'm not in any way better. I also have case in court regarding kids with my ex. I've also done a few interviews. She's done a few interviews too. So I'm not in any way better than Churchill. So I will not judge him, but I would suggest that he stops these interviews. And if he stops, Tonto, promise me today that you're going to stop.
There's never been a time I came out to say anything apart from my first interview, which I really regret, that I should have just really walked around and listened to that girl, Azuka. Not granted an interview.
Okay, but she called you for the interview.
She even flew me down. That's how desperate she was. But I flew myself down for this interview. In fact, I requested this interview with you, David Phrase. Yeah.
You're making me feel special.
Yeah,
now.
you are special.
Oh.
You didn't hustle me for it. She hustled me for it. She flew me down. Just so that she can embarrass me that way. Because that was what she did.
Tonto, I'm very happy for you.
Thank you.
You look more beautiful every day. I'm going to say that. I've said it on and off camera. Taste Buds also is a huge fan of you and your work.
Thank you, Auntie.
I love what you do with your foundation. Taste Buds was showing me one day that come and see what Tonto is doing. You were sharing medicines to people who are sick and in Abuja, you know. So we follow your work, and that is one of the things Christ said we should do, take care of the sick. I'm really proud of you as my sister. I have no right to judge you or Churchill. I'm in no position to, but I want a bit of peace. There's been a storm. I can't tell you not to talk. You came to meet me and you said you wanted to talk, but I can't say you shouldn't talk. So now that you've talked, please don't talk again.
I'm trying hard. There's still other things, you know. I'm taking my time, you know. I'm a gangster, yeah. You know, I'm not gonna put out all my fact there. So I'll be there one, pressing buttons. But the truth is, I don't speak until he speaks.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why I begged him first.
The reason being
Uncle
that
Churchill, please don't speak again.
I am the newsworthy person. My gist will go round. You see, why people attack me a lot on Instagram is because they don't see those interviews that get me crazy.
Yeah.
It's never. Yeah. They don't know how. It's not a celebrity, so it doesn't go far.
How would you feel? Let me ask you a question. How would you feel if he contacted me and wanted to have an interview?
Oh, please. You should, because I know that you are going to snap every document and tell us we're going to investigate it.
Okay. How would you feel if he came for an interview and I flew you down and the two of you sat here, he sat here? Would you like that?
Yes, I would. I mean, I can do that. I went to court with him, but
so maybe we'll just talk this thing and just close it once and for all.
I mean, as at this moment.
Yes. No.
No, I can't do that. I don't want to be.
Maybe a month from now.
I don't know about a month from now. Yes. You see, the thing is, everybody says I'm so unforgiving, but the truth is, I am extremely forgiving. But you can't forgive a man who is constantly lying every single day.
Okay, what if he comes up with a post tomorrow and says, okay, Tonto, I'm never going to say anything about you ever again. Let's just bury the hatchet and raise our son.
I will be so okay with it. The same thing I'm going to say in my mind, not replying. I will do the same.
Okay, fantastic. Then after that, we can all sit down.
It's only when I'm happy.
Eat Taste Buds.
It's only when I see that I'm
I know that happy. King is going to be happy.
Just like the whole thing came up. Maybe I got my endorsement. 2 days after
Did you just get a new endorsement?
Yes, I don't want to stain brand's name by calling them
I agree. In this.
Yes. Immediately I got my big endorsement. 2 days later, he granted an interview. So it's like the devil keeps pushing me to lose the things that I'm supposed to be getting. Actually, a brand actually contacted me and said, we were supposed to give you this deal 2016, but they caused too much controversy.
Sorry
so
about that.
I'm trying to stay away from anything that has to me, anything that has his name is dirty. I buried him a long time ago in my head. And if he continues like this, I will wake up one day and I will tell his son that the father is dead. Because I'm not going to train. I'm an Equerry woman. We don't train children for men. Our men take care of our women. Take care of their children. Yeah, look at David. Oh, a small boy sorry, not for calling you small boy, but I mean I'm older than you. But look at David. Oh, taking care of his children. Look at Whiskey, paying child support and taking care of his children. Being involved in their life. Look at Two-Face that have a multitude of children. He still takes care of his children. This man, you have only 2 that I know, confirmed. And you can't even take care of any of them. But you constantly come out to lie and discredit the women in your life. I didn't pay for my wedding, but why did your first wife pay for her own wedding again? It's a pattern with you and your family. It's a pattern.
Okay, Tonto, calm down. You know, I've allowed you to erupt. I want there to be peace eventually. You've said what's on your mind. Please. The message now is to Churchill. No matter how angry you are, please don't release anything else.
Please,
if you can release anything, my advice is
release.
No matter how angry you are, just release one thing.
You have to.
I am sorry. I want to work being a father with my son out with my ex Tonto, and you'll be amazed how things will work out from then on. She's a very forgiving person. That's one thing I would say about Tonto. She came to clear the air, because I would not, if she were my younger sister and she had drug allegations, you know what that would do to somebody? No brand would want to even sit down with you and drink coffee, let alone endorse you. Drug allegations, that's very heavy. You understand? So I would advise, I'm not telling you to retract or say, just, okay, whatever has happened, let's move on for the sake of peace. And the two of you will come here and eat nkwobi and the issue, and we'll drink wine, and everybody goes to their house. And every now and then you're able to call your son and talk to him. Every now and then you're able to send 50K, 5K, 10K, whatever is in your hand.
This is the same man that wrote a birthday message that the whole world was saying, hey, yeah, wow, wow. As if all of them, they are siren. Meanwhile, this man did not call the same song. You are doing wow, wow for on Instagram. Yeah, you are talking on a tortoise. You are talking to a tortoise. You see that they pour water. It will just do da 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 da. That's who you are talking to.
This Ikwere
Trust me.
Will not kuku kill me.
Trust me.
All right, so let's go on.
The day in court, they say, okay, come and see your child. Present this child that is causing wahala now. The court said it. The judges were present. They said, present this child. My child came, dressed in designer, dripping all around.
Drip.
The father did not show up. The father did not show up for the court presence. The only time my son was supposed to come, we were in court for almost 5 to 4 months. He didn't show up for that day.
Your divorce case finished quick, 4 months.
Yes, and he was even asking me for transport for court.
He was asking for
yes,
transport?
200,000. I can give him my phone, give my lawyer's number. Even on the court listen, the lawyer. That's how much this man wants to keep eating from me. That I will have to pay him 200,000 to come to court. Churchy, you said that. It's there. It's inside my court paper. It's there. Even my lawyer, you call Festus Kiyamo.
I will never marry an actress in my life.
Call Festus Kiyamo's office.
Hey!
I'm shouting it, Festus Kiyamo. I can't lie. I cannot. They told me to bring 200,000 naira. The judge said it's a lie. You cannot ask this girl to pay that. She's not going to pay shit.
Wow.
If not, I would have paid that man to be coming to court so I can. Me, and I was the one that actually took him to court. He went up and told people that he took me to court. Because on the court paper.
No. But our exes are very good at doing that.
On the court paper, they called me plaintiff. Please, I know that I am an engineer and I'm not an English student, but please, sir, what does plaintiff mean?
Plaintiff, applicant.
Yes, that's the person who.
Defendant, respondent. We are in court now. We know.
So the defendant is him.
Hold on. We need to show this.
The plaintiff.
Okay.
Tonto Dikeh. That means I took him to court.
Yes.
He's a defendant. That means.
Dependent and respondent. Yes.
They said it. They granted me full custody.
Where is the full custody?
The first one. Look at it.
An order granting the custody of their child. Okay.
Born on this to the plaintiff, which is me.
Yes.
And this is also a page where, after I convinced the court of how devilic, demonic, and diabolic his father is, they had to give a restricted visitation. The son, if the son wants to see the father wants to see the son, it has to be someone I extremely trust. It's there. It's all there. This is the court. Now I can't lie. Look at it. Look at registry, customary court. Do say. Look at the people. Look at the honorable. Look at all the judges. Look at my there were 3 judges, 2 women and 1 man. I did not forge this result. I can't forge this. I will sleep in prison, eh?
Okay, guys. I think Tonto and I need to go and eat some ishewu and just relax a bit. I hope we can some way find it. She's very upset, as you guys can see, and she's very hurt, but she's very forgiving. So let's try. I'll also try to talk to her when I get off, and try to see how we can just, it's going to be hard because this is a lot. But Tonto, my sister, God is your strength, and you're going to continue soaring. I wish you all the best. And congratulations on your new YouTube channel that you just launched. King Tonto is what it's called.
King Tonto Dikeh.
King Tonto Dikeh. I'm going to scroll it here so people can see it. And of course, visit you on Instagram. That's Tonto Dikeh.
No, Tontolet.
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 How did you get that name?
Dibanj. Dibanj. I met him when I was a lot. Actually, people just thought I met Dibanj when I became. No, I met Dibanj when I was like a child in the industry. I just came into the industry then. That's when I met him, and the Cocolet thing. He just thought, I think it was one day cool.
Yeah.
That started to call me Tontolet. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So you learned a lot today.
Yeah.
So guys, take care of yourselves. We're going to eat now. My mood is a bit down because this, even for me, is a lot. God bless you all. Taste buds.
I'm not talking about you, the woman. I'm talking about the people serving the food. Babe, have you had anything to eat? Are you sharing with me? You've had some. All right. So Tonto, over to you.
All right,
Hey,
thank
Joko.
you. Thank you. Yeah, I've been dying to eat Auntie's food. Every time I see, I say, no, I must eat Auntie's food. What is it? So
Yes, there's some cold wine. There's some. Oh, Tonto, you have a heart of gold.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
It's not just your hair that is gold. Your heart too is gold.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Let me open this.
Auntie, I don't.
You don't like wine?
I drink wine, but I'm detoxing.
Okay, so I'm just going to open this for me.
Bob doesn't drink at all.
Doesn't drink at all.
At all.
At all.
Why? You don't like?
The way that he comes out as mad, you think that he drinks alcohol or smokes or something. He never smokes, never drank.
Are you serious?
That's a very healthy lifestyle.